All right, I think we should be live. Let's see, I can test well, the audio looks like it's going through and it's not peaking, so I think that's good. I'll just leave you on quick break just in case I need it. All right, let's get started. This is going to be sort of a working stream, so I'm not really necessarily planning on teaching or really going through like the tutorials that I'm using or anything else. Just sort of building stuff, and if any of you stop in, I will gladly chat and answer questions or anything else. Katoli, hello, welcome to the stream. So a little bit first for everybody who watches the VODs and also when this gets uploaded to YouTube, since this is going to be the first video there for a long time. I am back. I am back from the accident and the concussion and able to program again. And what that means is that I also had to find a new job because unfortunately, while I was gone on short-term disability, the sound is a little bit low. Ooh, that's really good information. Let me turn that up. Okay, how about this? I raised the gain just a little bit on the microphone. I'm hoping I'm not peaking too much because that's happened in the past. Awesome. Okay, so to continue on, I went on short-term disability due to the concussion. I put out that video, and then shortly after that, my company that I was working at laid off almost the entire engineering staff. So that meant that I had the full time to myself to heal, concentrate on healing, get better. Unfortunately, it also meant that I had no income. So while I couldn't stream or make videos or do anything else like that, I did work with a bunch of nutritionists and doctors and everybody else to sort of get back as quickly as I could. And then I went on a job search and I found one. And so I'll be starting not this upcoming Monday, but the one afterwards. And the new stack that I'll be working with is PHP, Laravel, and Vue. So I've never worked with Laravel or Vue, and the last time I touched PHP was, I think, version 4, which was ancient history a long time ago. I've been told, and so I've been going through a little bit of tutorials before this, before today, and it does look like the entire language has completely changed. In fact, I was told that hack, that sort of what was the name? It's not a full compiler. It's a transpiler that Facebook was using in order to transpile PHP to C++ to make their code run really fast. I heard a rumor that they're no longer needing to use it because the latest version of PHP is faster. It does seem fast, but I haven't done anything to really put it through its paces. So I'm not really, I don't know how good of a rumor that is, but it seems like it seems like it's now like a proper language that you can do some really cool stuff with. Hey Chantilly, welcome to the stream. So with all that introduction out of the way, what I've sort of devised for myself is a series of challenges that I'm going to be working with. Wasn't hacked to introduce types in PHP? Well, I think it was to do a lot of things. I think I think you're right that it introduced types, but I think it also compiled into C++ for speed. So I wouldn't be surprised if it did all of the above. But I don't know too much about hack beyond that Facebook was using it and it's an internal tool. I don't even know if it's open sourced. So the plan is that I have a series of challenges that I'm going to work on. So the first one is going to be Reddit clone. Now I'm not going to make a fully working version of Reddit because that would be silly. But what I'm going to do is, okay, so the plan. stories. Heck, welcome to the stream. It's been a long time since I've seen you on. Let's see, stories. And I've got them written out over here. All right, so we have do a list and that. Okay, as a visitor, I want to see the links. I'm gonna do sort of like old-fashioned Reddit, which I guess is more like Dig, which is just like the links and maybe a title, but not really like self-post or anything else like that. As a visitor, I want to read the comments for a link. As a logged in visitor, I want to upvote or downvote links. As a logged in visitor, I want to leave a comment on a link. Let's see what else. As a logged in visitor, I want to leave a comment on a comment. And just because everybody last time I did a something about authentication, everybody wanted these two ones, which was as a logged in visitor, I want to log out. I don't know why anybody would want to log out ever. As a logged in visitor, I want to delete my account. Maybe if I keep on doing these challenges like this, people will eventually start adding these into their applications so you can easily delete your account, because too many places just don't let you do that. So this is going to be the challenge. I'm going to do this first with just PHP and Laravel by itself, which means super old-fashioned, page refreshes every single time we do something. Not that great. I think I might be able to get away with no JavaScript on the front end. And that will be that. Also, I'm not really caring about styling, because that was like something else I did during the rehabilitation, and now I'm working on the PHP Laravel side, and CSS, Sass, that's pretty easy to throw in later. If necessary, we'll throw in really basic styling just to make it work. So that will be this for the first time. I will copy and paste this into the Laravel side of it, because I plan on having this new GitHub repo, which is, I'm just calling it Reddit clone. That will be for different languages. Whenever I want to like learn a different one, I can implement Reddit clone in that language. All right, so let's begin. Laravel is pretty simple. And what did I do to improve my styling skills? My styling skills. So where's the books? Okay. Oh, there it is. I will grab them. There are two books that I recommend. This first one, it's not the newest book, but CSS The Missing Manual is an excellent book to sort of go through. It has both like the basics of it, but they also has a lot of really awesome sort of advanced things you can do with CSS. Now, there's some more recent things that have come out that this book doesn't cover, but like Flex is kind of covered in here, but not super well. And then Grid is not even touched upon at all, because that's just a super modern thing. Now, the other book that has those things in it would be CSS Secrets by Leah Veru. So I recommend this one also, because it shows, hey, you know that like, you know, 1 page worth of CSS styling you're doing to that element to make it look really crazy and awesome? Well, you can replace that with probably 2 or 3 lines if you just know the right CSS commands to use. And that's what Leah has made a. I mean, she does that a lot, and so her book is great. So I hope that answers your question. The other way that you do it is just give yourself challenges to work on, and then just work towards those. So I did that as part of my web dev rehabilitation. All right, so back to Laravel. We're going to create a new Laravel project in here, and I'm just going to call this Reddit clone. We'll just do Laravel. So probably shouldn't call it Laravel itself. So it's Laravel. Now, ahead of the stream, last week or so, I installed Laravel globally with PHP. And so I have, just to archive this. Also, can you see this text just fine, or would it be better if I made it larger? Either one. It's a bit small, but you're only half your screen. Okay, I can work on, can I make? All right, one little thing a bit larger. That should be good. Okay, so I'm working with PHP version 7.2.19. And I'm working with, this is a little bit weird. Laravel installer 2.10, that's not, how do I find the actual version of Laravel? I know it's the latest version. So let's go find out. Laravel.com. Does it have the latest version on here? I much prefer it when they actually show the version on the front page, like just right away. Documentation. Okay, why installation, installing Laravel. I basically ran these commands to do it. It just would be nice if it told me what version it was. Okay, well, it's not. I'm going to give up pretty quickly on this. It's unfortunate they don't have it. I think it's something like 5.6. I was going through the Laracas for Introduction to Laravel, and that's what it was for, 5.6. They seems to be about exactly what I'm working with, so that's fine. Anyways, to get it going, we're going to do Laravel new and then the name of the project. So what was this? Laravel Reddit clone. Just like all the other generators, it will just it will create a folder, download everything that I need, and just sort of sit there and let me do the rest. From what I can tell, Laravel is sort of like is less like Express with Node and more like Ruby with Rails, and the fact that there's a little bit more magic, which if you understand PHP, then it'll be easier to like pull back the veil on that magic. And Katoli, you found the release notes. All right, where is that? It's Laravel news. news.com/Laravel release process. .1. Okay. No. 5.8. That's what we got. 5.8. Because I installed it like last week, which this is after last week. Okay, everything's ready. Here is all of the file folders and files and everything else that we got in here. So It's a lot that's sort of been bootstrapped and created for us, and I can cd into Laravel Reddit clone and what is it? PHP artisan, which is this is something that comes with Laravel, and then serve to start the server. Bring this back to the left, come to you, and we'll go to localhost 8,000. And we just get this this sort of like default page that's all set here and ready for us to work with. We'll probably be removing a bunch of this because we're going to be not needing this page. Okay, so as a visitor, I want to see the links. Well, there's actually a lot that goes into here, isn't there? So we have the task to do. We want to have the actual main page, and I guess just the links, right? We need to figure out what they look like. Let's start creating that page. So here under resources in views, they have a templating engine called Blade. And that's this page that we're seeing right here. We don't need any of this. So I'm going to delete that and start over with some HTML. But I'm not actually going to use HTML just like this. I'm going to create in fact, I'm going to rename this layout.blade.php blod rename blade.php. Okay, so I can now say things like at section title, and then give it a default, which is I guess I'll call it Laravel Reddit clone. Laravel Reddit clone. And then down here in body, another at section body. Or maybe I'll call it main. If I need a navigation, I can add more sections, and then other templates will, I guess this is the template. The other blade files will extend this one and sort of tell what goes in here. So now, of course, I broke everything because I removed the file that generates this. So if I refresh, we get this error page. So I am also going to save you. Under views, let's create an index.blade.php. And we're going to say extends layout. And then it's a sort of very similar. It's a section, and it's going to be, I guess I can do title. I don't need title because it's the main page. So we're just going to do main. And then in here, we'll just do an H1 and just say Reddit clone with Laravel. And then we'll have an end section right there. Now, it was previously looking for a welcome, so this won't really help here. Also notice as I save, it's not auto updating. That's not a feature of the basic. I'm sure I can set that up with auto refresh, but I'm lazy right now and I don't have the all the extensions that sort of does that for me. So I will come into routes web, and here's where we get slash, and we'll just load up index. Come back over here and refresh. And all right, so I screwed that up somehow. Let's this is why I put learning on here, because even though like I've practiced like once with this, it's going to take me a while to sort of like internalize this and make it to where I can just code it blindly. So I think that this layout extension worked fine. I think it's this section main that's not really doing it. So section main, I don't, Well, what's easy is that we just go look at the documentation. So Laravel, blade, I guess we could just do section. So blade layout, section sidebar. So I have at section at. Now they have show here. I don't know if I need show. And then using a blade extends. So this dot is for if it's in another folder. I don't have it. It's in the base folder. And then it's just section and stop. Okay, so let's try in here, instead of end section, let's try stop. Now that didn't work for that. Let's try that show at the end of here. There we go. Okay, so I need the show. Now I'm curious if I do end section. Okay, so it looks like stop or end section, it didn't matter. Those are fine. In here, we need the show, regardless. So that's interesting and good to know. All right, so we have Reddit clone with Laravel. We need now a bunch of, hey, Danny, welcome to the stream. Right, Danny, you're between jobs too. Although you're going to be starting next week. All right. So if I want to display all the links, I'm thinking let's just like let's pretend that we have a link already set up. So in our index, underneath here, we'll have, let's see, what is it? I guess it'll be a title. So, well, we're gonna need like the upvote and downvote things. We'll definitely need styling for that to make it work, won't we? So something like a square like this. So let's do probably not a section. Maybe like a div. In the div, we're going to have the upvotes. I'm going to ignore those right now. I'm just going to do the title of the text. Or maybe we should have the upvotes. I guess if I don't want to do any styling, I could just have like left and right, right? So we could have a button for upvote, the actual number that we want to put in. So that could be something like this has 44 votes. Button down. And then we want the full text of the article and a link to it. So we can do an A tag. This could go to, let's say, google.com. I need the HTTP. And this will say google.com. If I save this, what does it look like? Oh, that's not terrible. Okay, so we have up, down, we have the link, and then we probably also want another link to go to the comments. So we can have that here, an A tag. We can take this to comments, and it would be something like comments / the ID of the of this link, and we'll just put comments. I'm actually going to wrap this in parentheses just to make it stand out a little bit since we're not styling this. There we go, comments. Now, of course, this won't take us anywhere. It'll take us to a 404 page. This will take us to Google. And these buttons don't do anything right now. What I want to do is I want to set just have like a bunch of these sort of going down, which means I need to first get this going in some kind of, well, eventually we're going to put them in a database. But to begin with, let's put these in the code and pass them into the template. So I'm going to put you down here. We're going to close the terminal, and we're going to go to the web here. So one of the big things, I don't actually think, don't want to make a big part about Laravel is the traditional MVC framework, and all of the web routes will go into this file, even if they're for completely different resources, which unfortunately means that that spreading things out into different components is very helpful for us. So I think creating a new component would be really nice for us, and luckily we can do that. I'm going to go create a new terminal window here, cd into the Laravel Reddit clone. Okay, so we can do that by doing PHP artisan, and if I show, there's this make controller. So then I can do, okay, PHP artisan help make controller. And it shows the help for this. So we just need to give it the name, and then we can also add all sorts of different things to it. For right now, because we don't have any models or anything else with the database, we're just going to give it a name. So we're going to say, I'm going to remove the help. Oh, you won't let me do those commands. Okay, that's not fun. PHP artisan make controller and name, I guess we could just call this index controller. And where it put it is under app HTTP controllers index controller. So here's where that is. Everything gets sort of like scrunched up. There's so many windows we need to have open. So in the web, instead of return this view, we're just going to tell it, and this is going to be the first magic that we're going to run into. We just tell it the name of the controller, index controller. And that's it. It now knows to come here. And so now we can have function. So function, oh, and it's not going to be index controller function. It's going to be index controller at, and then the name of a function in that class. So I'm just going to call this index. So function index, not going to take anything in. Tradition in PHP is to have the curly brackets on the next line, sort of C# Java style. And now from here we can just say return view. I think it's called index. Nothing should have changed. This should still work just fine. Okay, so it does. So now I can create the actual, I can create a variable that holds all this information. And I'm going to call this, we're just going to be a single, we'll make this a single kind of sort of object. I'll call this, what is this? A link. Now, there are objects in PHP, but the only way to create an object is through the new keyword with a class. So we can't just do something like this, which is what we might be used to in JavaScript or something else. We're going to create something, what they call an array, but to me, I have to mentally link it up with a table in Lua. So I'm able to have the key of this array. It can be a number, it could be auto-generated, which would be like a traditional array, or it could be whatever we want here. So we'll just call this, I don't need the, these are gonna be in there, votes. So votes, and we're going to use the fat arrow, which is instead of like a colon for JavaScript. And this will be, let's do a different number. So we'll do like 55. We'll do link. I don't think I need to use quotes for these, but it yells at me sometimes when I don't. So I just default to using it. https:// let's go to nasa.gov this time. And we don't need any comments. It could just be as simple as this. Semicolons are not optional. And we can pass this data in by saying a new array links, not comma. And I guess this will be just an empty array of links. Do I want to make this? Let's actually make this links. And I am going to go like this here. There. So now we have, I can make 2 of these. Oh, you are screwing up. Oh, I get it. There you go. I've not yet figured out what a good like prettier for PHP is. So my pacing in is sort of like messed up right now. This could be something like 64. And this could be Google again. Google.com. All right. I know this doesn't make sense for the order right here, but I'm not really going to care about that. Here, I'll do this 34, then it makes sense. And now we're going to say, okay, the links is now just going to be the links. Down here, instead of this, we're going to have for each the name of the incoming things, that'd be links, as a link. And then we're going to have an end for each. And now I can essentially put all of these inside of here. Okay, so button up. This is going to be, and we're just going to use handlebar style. So link. Now to access, I could use square brackets, but I run into really weird behavior with that. So I found that thin arrow is the way to access this. This is going to be the votes. Then down, and then this is going to be the link link. Oh, these should have the text in here, shouldn't it? So we're going to have text NASA, and this one is going to be text for Google. Okay, so you are going to be link text, and I guess we need an ID in here. We'll have you be an ID of 1. Also, you need to be a comma, comma, ID of 2. All right, so you can now be link ID, and that just goes to comments. All right, I think we're ready to try this out. Refresh, up error. Trying to get property votes of non-object view Well, that's lovely. This, the error messages are, I haven't learned to read them fully yet. So trying to get property votes of non-object. So trying to get, so links is more of the, most of those. I'm trying to, that seems like it should be fine. Each one of these will be this one. Does this need to be, so votes. So it's this one right here. It's not happy with that. Does this need to be an actual like object? Like, do I need to create like an entire class and then return it from that? That seems a bit, not fun. If I, well, because this is link, I'm getting a link which gives me these, and I'm for eaching through the array of them, so that gives me each one. Let me try commenting out this entire thing. And I am just going to put in links. HTML special characters expects parameter 1 to be a string. Which parameter is that? HTML parameter value. Wait, do you need to be a string? That's a string. These are all strings. I love that we're running into debugging instantaneously with this. I don't think this is the problem, but I'm going to try it anyways. Yeah, so exactly the same thing. So the problem here is that HTML special characters, I have, is it this? Like, if I just delete you? No, so it's actually this thing, because if I delete you also, then it works. So what if I only have one of you? Let's just do that. Links goes to links like that. And we'll bring you all back. Okay, so trying to get property votes out of a non-object. Oh, I'm only allowed to do this style as an object. So this needs to be like votes, like that. Ah, I think it will, right. Okay, so I'd got myself confused. Extracting properties and methods off of objects is thin arrow. Extracting data out of an array is square brackets. All right, so you like that and like that. Okay, and then we have this ID here. Okay, any other ones? Hey, there we go with that. And now I undo to add you in. And there's our Google one right there. So perfect. Now I bet I can undo and remove all those and leave them as numbers. Yes, perfect. Okay, so they still work. And these take us to the appropriate places. And if I come here, they're going to the actual, the ID too. So that's perfect too. And of course, all of that good. Now, of course, this is not helpful if I don't have them in an actual database. Also, I haven't learned test TDD, like testing with Laravel yet. So I'm not going to add those in right now. I figure eventually I'll learn them and then probably do another exercise with them. That'll probably have to be off stream for right now, but who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. Let us now put these into a database. So I am going to use one of my favorite sort of testing, playing around with databases. We're going to touch database.SQLite. All right, so I've created the database. I figure I can. This is like also not fun that it pulled all of these things in. I think it's not. Well, I have actually no idea what things it's supposed to be or not supposed to be putting into the git ignore for this. Look at all these git ignores that created. These are all untracked with the readme being tracked. Editor config git attributes git ignore env example. Oh wait, is .env in here? No, it is not. Which it actually exists right here. So okay, it actually wants me to put all of these things in here. So that's fun. Let's go ahead and do an early commit to this. Set everything up. Basic project started. Okay, let's then also go into that .env. So I'm not going to be putting anything actually secret in here. Let's take a look at what we got in here. All right, so database connection. This is going to be SQLite. Database host, localhost, that's fine. Port, it really won't need the port here. The database is going to have to be, and I found this really weird. According to the documentation, it's not a local, like a relative path. It's a full path. Like, so I have to go starting from home to code, builds, Reddit clone, Laravel Reddit clone, database SQLite. That is fun to put in here, but this gives us access to now doing our database stuff. So now that we have that, I now need to create a migration for all of this. So back up to here. There was a make migration. Okay, so what is it? PHP artisan help make migration. The name of it, obviously. And nothing really special for it. Okay, so we'll remove the help. Apparently, if you put create underscore in the name, it will change the default template for the migration to do a create table instead of just an update table. And I guess what we'll call is this will be a links. I found out that we also have to have this be plural. Otherwise, it's not. Things don't. The magic assumes things. Okay, where did that create it? Under database, there's now migrations. They already give us a username and password one, but here's the one we care about. Create links. Here it's going to create this table with an ID and timestamps already in there, and it has the down for drop. This actually reminds me a lot of the connects migration. So pretty simple to sort of grok here. All right, our table, we want to access, we need the votes first. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I just want integer or if like a big int. Let's see, Laravel migration types. I just want a list. Okay, so big integer. I don't think I'm going to go up too high, so probably an integer is going to be fine. All right, so integer. And we'll call this votes. I'm not planning on like keeping too crazy a track with it, or also like doing crazy logic to prevent someone from like voting twice or 3 times. I figure the exercise is mostly just sort of like get used to Laravel and not actually build a real Reddit. All right, what's next? Well, we need the actual link itself. So I know there's a text and there's a string. Text and string. String is just a varchar. I probably want text so it can be really long, potentially, for both of these next ones. Text will be the link. And what did I call this? Like the title? Oh, just the text. I call it the text. Kind of like the text to be title. And I think that's all I need right now. Later on, we can do another migration to add other information in if we need to. So we're going to create that, and then we're going to migrate. So let's do PHP artisan migrate, and it created the links. I can check this by using what is it called? SQLite. Yeah, SQLite 3 database.SQLite. That drops me in here, and then tables. I now have a links table. Nothing's in it, so I can't really do any queries. SQLite is very basic with what commands we have access to. I just want to quit. I need a model in order to access these links. So PHP artisan make model, and it's the exact same thing as the other thing. We're just going to call this links, or link to be singular. The model was created. That's actually a very simple file that comes into database app, and just here it is. I don't need anything to do with it right now. Maybe later I'll need to. And Artisan comes, or PHP Laravel comes with an interesting thing here. PHP, what is it? It's Artisan Tinker. And now I can do something like, and this confuses me. It reminds me of Windows programming, which it's their backslashes. So /app, and then the model, so link, : all, and then it shows me, hey, it actually reached into the database and got this. So I can create some of these right now for myself. So link, oh right, I do this link equals new app link. So now I can do link, and then I can just sort of add in what is it? It's create, and now I can just set this up as the array that's going in, sort of like the table or object. So we know we want the votes. So votes. Let's do this as like 10 votes. We're also going to have the link. Let's do Twitch for this time. So https://twitch.tv/Brooke and then the title. I need to remember. Yeah, I did call it title. Brooks builds channel. And close that. Close that. All right. I can barely see this with the gray on black. Also, I just got an error on the tablet. I don't see any problem there. No drop frames. Okay. Some weird thing happened maybe. Well, it can't be my internet. It's the same internet. Oh well, I'll ignore it. Okay, so coming along again. To add votes to fillable. Oh, to allow mass assignment. Okay, so we need to tell it there's a security thing going on. So I need to come into this here and tell it that I'm allowed to fill these things in. So it's a protected fillable equals, it's going to be it's going to need to be everything. So votes, link, title. I bet, you know what? I don't think I need that if I do it normally. So let me try this. Link. Let's just try the new thing again. Link equals new app link. Now I think I can do this. Link votes equals, I'll give myself 100 this time. Link link equals, just copy you, and then link title equals, I need the quote. Okay, then link save. There we go. That I didn't need the fillable yet. I'll probably need it later for some other purpose, but all right, so link save true. Now, what I want to do is come back. Let's go back into, actually, it's right here. What was it? It was /app link all, and it shows this here. And if I come in to SQLite and then I do select oh, I was wondering why it wasn't working. There's no database there. Okay. I need to be in this folder before I could do that. Okay, so select star from links. And there it is. So just through that little bit of magic, it actually auto-figured out through the names of it what the table was and sort of put things into it. So using this model, I'll be able to now interact with the database. Which, what that really means for me is that we come over to our index controller, and instead of this entire thing, I'm going to use, so I change the namespace of it, so use /app/link, and now I can say links equals link all, like that. And now that stays the same. I save it. Okay, could not find, oh, you know what? I need to restart the server. It's still thinking that I was in the previous SQLite. So restart you. And there we go. Now, that almost worked. What did I do wrong? All right. We have link and title. Oh, you know what? It's the title. Where's my... Oh, you know what? And these are going to be different now, I think. So instead of link votes like this, now it's an actual object. So I think I can now do votes. Let's see if I got it right. Yeah, so that's still there. So that's how we vote, link title, and then link ID. All right, there we go. This would obviously bring us to Twitch, so I'm not going to do that. But if I come over here, it actually brings us to the appropriate ID. So there we go. If we add more of these, then that will be good. Now, I haven't learned how to do any kind of authentication yet, so that might be wrong thing. Read me. I don't need you. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this entire file. Is there a README in here? I don't see one. Let's create it. There we go. As a visitor, I want to see the links. Felt like there was something crawling up my leg, but nope. Okay. As a visitor, I want to read the comments for a link. So that's I haven't learned that one yet. So I think I actually let's see. Could go through and learn how to do those right now. Do I want to do authentication right now? All the rest require authentication. Let's see what I would need. I need Laravel, documentation, authentication, Laravel makes it very simple. The authentication configuration file is located at config.auth.php. Okay, authentication quick start. Pre-built authentication controllers, which are located in HP controllers auth. Oh, there's like a whole bunch here. Login, register. The register controller handles new user registration. The login controller handles authentication. Laravel provides a quick way to scaffold all the routes and views you need for authentication using one simple command. PHP artisan make auth. All right, well, let's try it. I guess I need a new window here. PHP artisan PHP artisan make auth. I guess there's nothing else I need to do. Authentication scaffolding generated successfully. Okay, so I see now that what did it add for me? There's new, it added some routes. Interesting. It added, did it touch? No, it didn't touch that. Didn't touch that. I guess it just touched the web. It just added these routes. This command should be used on fresh applications and will install a new layout view. A home controller will also be generated to handle post-login requests to your application's dashboard. Oh, so there's a new controller too. How do I use it? Okay, so now that you have routes, oh, the make auth command will also create a resource views layout. Did it? I did not see that it did that. I think that screwed up because I already created something called layout. Containing a base layout for your application. Now that you have routes and views set up, you're ready to register and authenticate. Okay, well, it might have been nice if they had actually created that view, but unfortunately they didn't. Now I'm curious. If I run it again, it's probably gonna like add to itself and freak out. That's too bad. If I come back in here and run this, yeah, there's nothing else that it sort of expects me to do in here. So that's too bad. Will it tell me what I need? Well, let's try to figure this out. So in the web, in the routes, we just have auth routes. That's it. That's all we see. But we also have route get /home, and it goes to home controller index, and then grabs the name home. I'm not sure why it needs to grab the name home off that object, but okay. I wonder if this is everything needs to be authenticated now after this point. Is there a /home now? Ooh, there is. Okay, so it created these views for me. Email address and password. Okay. If I do, well, that's my business email address, so I'll just use that. Very simple. Sure, remember me. Log in. Right. Register. Oh, you're gonna play that game? No, never. Okay, I'm logged in. I'm at home. Okay. When I log in, I want it to redirect me back. Oh, and I have a logout already built in. Okay, that. Oh, and I come back here, and now theoretically I'm logged in. I'm really curious about that. So by default, Laravel uses the email field for authentication. If you would like to customize this, you may define a username method on your login controller. Okay, so we can go to login controller. Public function username. Okay, so I need to create a new. So public function username, return, we'll just call it username. Save it there. So does that mean if I come back to home again and I log out, back to home, register, now it's name. Okay, that's really nice. Oh no. Oh, right, okay. What if I don't want the email address at all? Because like, what if I don't care about that? I bet there's some way, somewhere in here that I can tell it like what I'm looking for it to get. So under controllers, register, there's a validator. Yeah, I'll just leave it for right now, and I just won't really care about that. What I want to do is, if I go back to login, oh, it doesn't remember me. Probably because I changed things. Email address has already been taken, so I will just do a@b. Okay, so I'm logged in. I want to see over here if I am logged in. Retrieving the authenticated user. So user is just auth user. So inside of my index controller, I need to pull in use eliminate support facades auth. So I need to grab that. And then theoretically, user. Okay. Get the currently authenticated user's ID. Determining if the user is authenticated. Oh, just auth check, and that will be a truthy. Okay, so if I guess what I could do is can I get the information? Auth ID. What if I want like more than the ID? Like the email. Redirecting on the unauthorized, unauthenticated users. Ooh, here's how to manually, okay, so I can just create my own form if I wanted to. Using theirs, I think, is fine. Remembering users. Okay. All these different things we can do. User provider contract. Okay, so let's first make it that when we log in, when we create an account or log in, it redirects us to slash. So I think that's going to be in login controller. Where to redirect redirect users after login, we're just going to redirect to slash. And under register controller, where to redirect users after registration to slash. So regardless, they all go back to slash, but now they're authenticated. No, that's not the username. Can I get, by default, Laravel includes a user class in the app directory. So I could just look at the user class. Name, email, password. Password is hidden. So do I have access to the name now? Okay, so nope. Index controller. Okay, so I'm in this user. I want, so apparently there's a thing in PHP where I can just do dd and hand it user. If I save this, go back to here and hit refresh, it'll show me what that is. So let's see what we got here. Nothing really helpful. what if I do dd user name? Oh, Brooks. Okay, so I have access to the name, email, A at B, ID, to, okay, so I do have access to all of these things. So I can, now what if I put in password? With that, oh, it hashes it. That's really nice that it hashes it for us automatically. So I can do something like, here's our user. If we're not user, all right, what was it? We want to see if we're not authenticated. Check. It's check. Oh, it's auth check, so it's not user. So this auth check. Okay, so if users logged in. So I want, if they're not logged in, I just want to, at this point in time, return redirect to, I mean, there's nothing that we need. This will not be good. This would actually put us in infinite loop, wouldn't it? It doesn't actually matter if we're logged in or not at this point in time. It's only going to be for other things right now. So if we are not logged in though, or if we are logged in, let's pass in the user username to username. I think that's what it was. And then I'm going to come into our index.blade. Underneath here, we're just going to have an if a username. Actually, no. If set, it's something set. It's not if set, oh, is set. So it's at is set username. So if it's set and actually has something in it properly, then I want to say, we'll just do a paragraph here. Welcome username. End is set. All right, refresh. I guess I'm not logged in. That's oh, we need a link to log in. So we need a ahref /home login. Come over here. I am logged in. Okay, so that didn't work quite so well. this is set username if I was to put just something like test. Okay, so that worked. I need to remember what this was. Was it name or was it username? dd username. Null name. It's just name. User name. There you go. Welcome, Brooks. So it shows that right there. And I could put, when we get to the story, I'll do the log out part. So let's go back to over here. Read me. As a visitor, I want to read the comments for a link. Now, one thing I also haven't gotten to in the videos yet, I was just about to start them, but I decided I would rather stream, is getting the, is setting up a relationship. So I'm gonna want a different table for the comments. So I'm gonna want, we have a users table, we have a links table, we're gonna have a comments table. And one user can have multiple comments, a post can have multiple comments, and comments can have comments. I don't actually know if I'm going to need a join table for this. That'll be interesting. I put this on like comments of comments because I just wanted to make sure that whatever order I'm able to understand it enough. And at first I thought I was going to get a many to many in this, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. I think it's going to be just an interesting query, which is a little bit sad, but whatever. Okay, so I need comments for a link, which means I need to have an association. So none of this stuff, requests, responses. Where's the database? Oh, database. Query builder, pagination, migration, seeding. I guess I need to create a migration in which it's related to another one. Huh, like that. How to force it to run in production? Never. Well, at least never run down in production. Just be very, 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 very careful. Okay, rolling back migrations. Renaming tables with foreign keys. Before renaming a table, you should verify that any foreign key constraints on the table have an explicit name in your migration file instead of letting Laravel assign a convention-based name. Wait, is there just like command to do this? Did Laravel do that? PHP artisan help make migration. No, okay, so there's no, it looks like I just do a new migration, pretty basic for the comments. So I should just be able to do PHP artisan make migration create comments. Here's the create comments. I'm going to need to have a foreign key in here. Okay, I didn't notice anything in here for like a foreign key. I'm guessing just an integer then, or probably a big. Is there a big int? Probably a big integer. So we'll do table big integer. What will I call this? This is going to be the ID for the post or the comment that it's on. So I guess we'll just call this the parent. It should probably be a if it's going to be like just a normal one, so we could have what the link that it's associated with. So link ID. I wonder if I want to make this nullable. So that way, if it's null, then we also know that it must be a link on a comment. Feels like I'm going a little bit, like it's not the best there. I wonder if it's going to be as simple as, just do this, nullable, like that. Also, I wonder if also we need to have like foreign and like links. Like if we're going to do something like that, that's my guess. So it's nullable. Okay, so that's correct. Didn't see the foreign though. Create indexes. Foreign key constraints. Let's define a user ID column on the post table that references the ID column on a users table. So unsigned big integer user ID, table foreign user ID, references ID on, okay, so we're not going to do it on all one thing here. So we're going to do that here. Table. You know, I guess they do need to be within a link ID. I guess we could put it there. I'll not make this nullable for right now. We'll just do the top levels and worry about the rest when we get there. Okay, so table, we're going to have oh, this needs to be unsigned big integer. Or no, it doesn't really care. I'll leave it as it is. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want big increment. I don't want to auto increment. Unsigned, so it can't be negative. Big integer. Oh wait, no. I do want that to be this. Big integer. I'll just leave this fine. We'll never have it be negative, but I guess it could be negative now. Foreign link ID references ID on links. That's how to do it. You may also specify the desired action for the onDelete and onUpdate properties of the constraint. So onDelete cascade. So I believe I do want this. So references. All right, I can. Cowtel, welcome to the stream. Last time I used React, will I also be giving Vue a go? Oh, yes, I will. I definitely will be giving Vue a go because between last time and this time, I got a new job. And it hasn't started yet, but the new job has Vue as the stack. So I will be going with Vue. So expect a lot more videos on that. Okay, so on, and then this is going to be an on delete. We want to cascade that and delete them all. I always sort of like feel like, oh, do I need to put the on delete here or on the other side? But it makes sense to go here after I think about it for a little bit. Okay, so then I think that's all I need right now. Okay, so this is comments. Did you have an interview and show off your Vue skills? Oh no, I told them during the interview I had no Vue skills and I had no real PHP or Laravel skills, and they hired me regardless because of things I've done in the past. There were some references that I had that were really awesome, and basically they're just saying like, hey, you can learn fast, just learn fast, and that's all I need. Those interviews I think are the best. The ones where it's like it's mostly about culture, both sides. So like I get to verify that they're a good team and it's a good company and they're really focusing on the right things, and they get to verify that I am someone who they want to work with. And they find out if I'm the kind of person that they want to hire also technically through people that have worked with me in the past. All right, so we're almost to here. We're almost to this point. Let's use Tinker to create that, okay, so we need to migrate now. So PHP artisan migrate. So we're going to run we created the comments. We need to create a model for it. So PHP make model comment. Oh, it's also artisan. Do I think I'll be able to stream any of the Vue stuff? I would like to. I have found that if I'm just trying to like learn on my own, even though I'm like stopping every once in a while to chat with you all, which I do enjoy quite a bit, I will get less done on my own than during stream, simply because I find that I'm able to concentrate. I'm able to focus on actually just doing this instead of getting distracted by everything else. So I guess I could work faster if I learned on my own, but I'll probably be doing a significant amount of learning on stream. Let's see. So make model comment. So we created the model. Now let's go into Artisan. And let's then get a comment. So, whoa. Comment equals new app comment. Okay, so now we have a comment. Did I feel I may have. You know what I forgot to put on the comments here? The actual comment. That's that would have been nice. Okay, before I do anything, let's roll back and do this again. So PHP migrate, keep on forgetting, Artisan, migrate, roll back. All right, so we undid and we removed the comments. And I want to add in here table what is this going to be? Text, comment, title, probably just the text. Yeah, it's just going to be the text. We'll just call it the text. You know, it would be nice to get the user too, wouldn't it? So let's add that as a foreign constraint too. So we'll have table, big integer, user ID, table. All right, that's going to be this exact same thing here. So I might as well just have copied this, paste that in. All right, so this is going to be user ID, references the ID on users. And I can actually go to the users, create users table. It is users. And on delete cascade this too. Okay, so perfect. And then that should be it. So I missed the text, and then now we can also track the user ID. So let's now migrate again. We've already got the model, so we can now come back to Artisan. We're gonna have to do this again, I think, and we're gonna have comment. So ID will automatically be created for us. Link ID. Do I have a link? I think I still have this one right here. Let's verify. I do. So I have that link there, and then I should have the users too. So we can take that a look as well. App user is not found. Oh, it's user, isn't it? Because there's these two users here. So now I can do comments. All right, so link ID, link ID is going to be equal to 1. Is there any date that you can know? Right. So I haven't properly figured out my schedule yet. I've been meaning to stream this week, like right after I woke up, but I didn't wake up at the time I wanted to wake up. So I'm trying to like I'm trying to get myself ready back for work again because I want to do streams throughout the week. And what I did previously was streamed early in the morning. And I want to get back into that again. I just sort of didn't wake up on time and that sort of screwed me up all day. You bet the 17th is a good day for a view stream? What is the 17th? Is that... That's 4 days from now. Is that Monday? Okay, so it's just a normal Monday. I'm not starting this Monday. I'm starting next Monday. So I will have time to stream next Monday, maybe. As I said, I'm just sort of playing it by ear right now. Let's see. When I do eventually get an actual schedule, I'll put it out, but no promises. All right, so link ID, that all works out. Then we have the text. Okay, so text is going to be an awesome comment for an awesome link. Okay. Big integer. Okay, so then we're going to have the user that did this. So now going to be user ID equals 1. Actually, I'm logged in as 2 right now. And that should be it. I can now do this entire thing again. So starting with link ID, there's also going to be a 1. Oh no, okay, hold on. Before I do that, I'm just sort of resetting it. I need to save this. So comment, save. All right. Now I can do this entire thing again. So comment. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to bother doing that. That's just too much time. Do you happen to know why the project chose to be done with Vue? I don't know, and I don't know exactly why. Well, okay, the CTO, who I can't remember if he co-founded it or if he came in very shortly afterwards. He is a PHP Laravel developer, and so I know he created the entire app at the very beginning before they hired off a bunch of other developers. I also do know, yes, Danny is correct. Vue and Laravel is commonly used together. In fact, if we take a look at this, if we go to Vue.js components, there's an example Vue component. They actually give a little bit of Vue stuff directly in what you get when you create a Laravel project. So I would say like 99% of the time, most people are going to use Vue just because of that. So my guess, that's the reason. But I didn't ask directly. I know they're happy with it, so there's that. Let's come back. What was I doing? We have a comment in here. So what that means is that as a user, logged in or not, I want to be able to click on the comments here, go to the page where we show just the comment, and then we go in. So what that means is we're going to go to our, keep on when I want this one. Our web PHP, we already know we're going into the comments for that one. In fact, where does this go? This just goes to /comment/ and then the ID of the link. So we're going to do route get /comments. I think it's like this, where then it's going to be the ID. and then we're going to hand it to the index controller at link with comments, and you need to be a string. You hear that Adonis is like the Laravel for Node? I haven't heard of Adonis. That would be interesting to look into. I just don't have time for that right now. But if you've looked at Adonis, let us all know what it's like. Do you like it? And is it commonly used? Okay, so theoretically, I should now have access to the ID here. So if I save you, we go to index controller, function, I already forgot what I called this, link with comments. Link with comments. Do I have access to the ID from this? Is it just passed in like that? I want to say it is. Well, here's an easy thing. I just do dd ID. All right, so ID 1. All right, perfect. So it is. That's exactly what I got. Okay, so now that I have that, I need to get the link based upon that ID. Okay, so I need to get the link based upon that ID. And I think there's a really cool way to do this where I can say link like that. And let's try this. dd link. Let's return it actually, and we'll just get the JSON from it. Return link. Oh, it's empty. If I return link title. Yeah, okay. So I didn't properly get the link based upon this. So that's kind of a little bit sad. Does it have to be the first? Well, it would have been nice if it did that, but I don't think it linked it properly, and so therefore the magic doesn't work. So we'll just have to grab this ourselves. So we'll have to do link equals link Okay, so query builder. So it can be where, and I think I can also use a table style and then get first. Because I think it's slightly different in this version than what I'm doing here. So I think it's where, I don't know if it's capital where or not. So where ID is ID, and then also first, like that. And at that point, I should be able to do like that. Hey, there we go. Here's our link. We got it. If I do dd instead of this link, it'll look nicer. Except it doesn't give us all the things. So it would be something like dd link title. And there we go, exposed channel. So perfect. Hunter19, welcome to the stream. Request not link. I think I don't need the request here because, or are you thinking like request in here, like request where? I think request gives me access to the HTTP object that was sent when I actually hit the link and I did the GET request. I don't think I care about that right now because I'm getting passed in the ID as the query parameter. That's what I'm thinking, but I could be very, very much wrong. Okay, so I have this. Now I'm gonna want, I have the link. What do I want to do with it? I want to, let's begin by just creating a view, and that will have the links in it. Then we'll put the comments right on. We'll get the comments right afterwards. Okay, so turn view. I haven't created this yet. It's going to be, I don't know if I want it to be comments. Just like one link or one link. And we're going to have a link, save view, come over here. Resources, views. Oh, there's where the layouts is. That's what it created. Okay. That's new file, and we're going to call this what am I? One link. I'm starting to get tired here. PHP, because I forgot what I said like immediately, and I had it written down. Okay, so this is gonna extend layout and section main end section. So let's begin with just saying h1 one comment. All right, so here's the one comment. Make you go away. Gonna bring you down to the bottom. Gonna bring this side away, and then here's the index controller. Okay, so here's this one link. We know where we're getting in here is named link, and I can pull in the create links so we can see what we're dealing with here. So what I'm thinking, I don't know if I fully care about I just want to read well, let's just get this stuff in and I can refactor this later. So I'm just going to make this the text. And this can also be an A tag. So this is going to go to link, link. Link title. So there we go with that. We also have the votes. that might be nice to put into its own sort of like section and import it in. That I think I actually like that a lot, is to import that in. So I'll do that later. So I just won't show it right now. That's actually all I care about right now. And then we want the comments. So then we can have h2 comments title here. And then I just want the list of, just the list of comments right now. So we can probably have this to be an unordered list. And we're going to have a for each. This will be comments as comment, and for each. Then for this, this is just going to be a list item. Comment the only thing I really care about right now is the text. Of course, this will fail because I don't have any of that in there, so I need to now get the comments. So where is that? That is in the index controller. We now need to use /app/comment. And we need to get comments equals comment where link ID is equal to ID. And I don't want first, I want to get them all. So maybe for this, let's return the comments and see what we got. Objects of class eloquent builder could not be converted to string. Does it need like a get? Ah, it did. Okay. And then here's this comment. And so what we got? ID created at link ID and awesome. Okay. So there's no join happened yet. So I'm not really worried about that. But I do have all this information. So now I can add this in here. Comments. And then remove you. Save and refresh. And here is that comment. You wonder if someone has made a JavaScript to PHP compiler. Oh, I think the problem is that both languages are changing so frequently that that would be a nightmare to maintain. But that would be a very interesting exercise. All right, so we have this comment. Technically this solves that thing, but I remember that I want to do a join. Like I want to at least practice a join with this. And that means that I want to have like an awesome comment for an awesome link, and then have this essentially by, and then comment like name, username. So I need I need to figure out how to do queries. Here's the query builder. Joins. Okay, so now they're doing this off of the users table. Oh, and they're getting contacts? Where the contact? Okay. Inner join is by default. That's usually what we want anyways. So is it going to be as simple as, so I have comments here where, and before this, let's add this in here. It's just going to be a join. Okay, so the table we're going to join to, so it's going to be users. And then I wonder if this would be an array like this, like this one. So ID is equal to so users, I guess users.id is equal to comments.id. Oh, comments.users user_id. Let's find out. And then I'll just do another return comments just to find out what it is we got. Okay. Hey, take a look at this. Here's all the information. So that's exactly what I wanted. That's all I needed to do for the join. I've got the information. Now I don't want password. I don't want to get the password in there. So is there a way for me to state what I want? Select. Hold on just 1 second. Somebody is at. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I got some tea delivered to me. It's too hot for me to tell what type it is yet. Okay, so I think, oh, okay, so I can select. All right, so here, and then do select contacts.star. So I want everything there. And I also want users.name, just the username. So if I do that, ooh. No such table contacts. I read the other thing and I just wrote it in. This is comments. Hey, look, and it just has name Brooks. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to get that. And we're going to pass this in here. So it's going to comments.name. Save, remove this early return, save you, and refresh. Property name does not exist on this collection instance. Well, I thought I had it. Hold on. What did I see here? So we're doing the for each. We have access to the comment text right here. User ID and the name. There's the name. So comments. Oh, it's comment. Oops. Save you too. There we go, by Brooks. Perfect. All right. So we're going to come to our README. And as a visitor, I want to read the comments for a link. Done. As a logged in visitor, I want to upvote or downvote links. So that's back. Whoa, no, not that one. I need it back. That's not good to have. Let's go to our layout file, and we'll just have a section here, an H1, not header, H1, that's also an A tag to slash, and we'll just say Reddit, Laravel, Reddit clone. There we go. I don't need this anymore because this is going to be our link. So now in index.blade, we can remove you. Also, this login should probably go into the layout like that. All right, so here we go. Laravel Reddit clone. If we go into comments, we see this Brooks Builds channel. That's the entire thing. I don't actually know if I need one link to be an H2. You can be, or an H1. You could probably be an H2 too. There we go. And we come back. Lots of terrible styling because there's no CSS file that we're using. Okay. We want to set up upvotes and downvotes now. Okay, so to do this, we're going to do something horrible. And that's mainly because we're avoiding JavaScript on the front end. And to work around that, we're going to make each one of these buttons have their own forms. And I might as well, to allow the upvoting and downvoting to work no matter where it is, also put it into its own layout file, and then we're going to include it. But for right now, let's just put it right here. So here's the up and the down, and then we need the votes And then the ID of where it goes. Okay, I think we can put this in its own little location here. So let us, first of all, because I got that done, let's actually save everything off. So what did we do? We can view comments. Yeah, save it. I'm going to close all these windows too so we can start fresh. All right. Forgot. I'll just add it to the next one. I feel lazy and don't feel like reverting the commit or appending the commit and changing it. I'll just ignore that. Okay, so with this, we need a new view. Let's reset U2. Okay, so resources, views. I'm going to create this votes.blade.php. This is going to be, doesn't require anything. It's going to be required. So it's just going to be a template on its own. And we're going to put in, it's basically just going to be this, right? So we're going to have a form with an action equals, we'll worry about this one right now, the first one at this point in time. So we know that we need to send this to slash, well, this is going to be the links slash, we're going to need the link ID. So the link ID I think I can pass it along that way. Slash upvote. So increment the vote. And the method is going to be a post. And that's it. Then we're just going to have our button. And we're just going to call up. Okay, and then we close the form. So that's going to be this button. Then we're going to have this actual votes here. So link votes. That's it. And then we're going to repeat for down. So copy you. Action links. This is going to be downvote. Method post button down. So all we need to pass in is the link object so it can get the ID. And that's all we really care about this. It doesn't care about anything else. So with that in mind, let's now pull in index.blade. This can now be replaced, and we need to pass it in the link. So I think it's import votes and link. That should be it. Let's find out. Not exactly. Okay, so it just put that text in there, which wasn't what I wanted to do. I thought the at here would, if I put this up here. No, okay, so that's not what I wanted. Let's go find out what I need. front end, play templates. Okay, well, they have parent. I don't think I need parent. I don't need yield. It's not a component. Include, not import. Include, now it's blue. Here's our up and down. It put this into a div. Interesting. I kind of, or is that the form? No. The form I don't think is block. All right, well, I won't really care that much about this. If I want to be, super special about it, I could also do it and a horizontal rule here to sort of denote that it's separate, like that. Okay, so now if I hit up, I'm going to get 404 not found, but it is going to the correct place. So it's going to upvote and downvote. Also, oh, the back was there. Let's go back here. Interesting. Oh no, okay. So my history is weird for a second. I also want to throw this into the comments here. Do I have access to the link? I think I do. So, no. In the one link blade, I do have access to the link. So right underneath here, before that, let's now @include votes, and this will be the link. Save and refresh. And so this gives us, no matter where we are now, we get these upvotes and downvotes, and they'll act exactly the same way. So that's perfect. Also, I think I'm logged in. So I probably don't need the login unless I'm actually logged in. I'll worry about that later. In fact, in index, I have this welcome Brooks. So if is set welcome Brooks, and we're going to have a log out somewhere. But can I make this an if? Oh, that does work. Okay, so I'm not gonna. I don't want this in here anymore. I want to actually pull this into the layout. Okay, so you go there, and I think it's just a simple else and login can go in here. No. Go home, tab that, go there. You go away. There you go. There. If I'm logged in, I have welcome Brooks. Otherwise, I'm going to get the login link. Perfect. Uh-oh. Undefined variable, username, view. Oh, I'm not passing it in. That's why. It needs username. Where does that come from? That's... So I know it's in the layout, but will it tell me what... Will it give me the stack? The view render, not really. It gives me so much information, but not the piece I really care about. Okay. Well, I happen to know it's from the index controller. So it's right here. I just need this user right here. And then I can pass in, let's do that. And then username, user name. Unexpected username, oh, comma. There you go. Now it works regardless of where I am. Okay, so I want the up. It's currently a 404. When I hit the upvote, I want it to increment the vote. I'm not really caring about, like, you know, keeping this and everything. I just do want to make sure that somebody is logged in order to do it. All right, so I am hitting a post to links one upvote. So let's go to web. Now this is going to be a new controller, a links controller. So we're going to do route post / links / ID / upvote. And I'm going to call this the links controller. I guess link controller would be more appropriate. And I'm going to name this upvote, like that. Which of course means I need to now create this controller. So PHP artisan make controller link controller. And I already have a model for link, I believe, right? So I can also say /m for model link. I want to connect the link model to it. Controller was successfully created. Now let's go into this new link controller and then an upvote. So link controller. And what it did was it automatically brought in this use here, and it created all of these different ones, which I am not going to need most of these. In fact, I don't think I need any of these. Well, I might need some of these. I don't need the index. That's for display listing of like the resource. I'm already doing that in the index. The create is for the form. That actually I will eventually need. Store is for actually storing it. I'll need that. Display the specified resource. This is show the links. I'm currently doing that through index. Show the form. You know what? I'm just gonna pull a full reset on this. All right. Function upvote. We're gonna need the ID. Okay, so with the ID, we first need to make sure that we're authenticated. So with this index, we're gonna have this user. And we also know that we can do, what is it? If auth I forgot what it was. Check. That's what it was. If auth check. Okay, now we know the user is logged in. Okay, with the user logged in, and we hit this and we have the ID, I now want to increment in the database this link. So let's grab the actual link in question. I wonder if I can do that trick now. Link. I'm really curious if I could do this. If I can't do this, if it's an else here, I think it's just else, I want to return redirect to slash. All right. So I'm going to upvote 419. So I got this due to a security thing, and I keep on forgetting to put this in here under upvotes. So the votes.blade, in each of these forms, I need to add in this at CSRF. That's it. That adds in a hidden form field that's going to protect us against cross-site vulnerabilities. Basically, it's going to create a token that's unique for each session. And each time you load the page, it's going to be unique, new token. And that way, if you fail to pass that in, then it won't allow you to, it will just deny it, and we'll get this 419. So that's to prevent people from trying to, sneak in. So let's do this. Up. Well, I had hoped that. Aha. Okay. So new error. Auth not found. Right. Because in index controller, I also need to pull in U. And link controller. There you go. Save. refresh, continue. Okay, so I got nothing. So unfortunately, this didn't work. Not too terribly surprised. I haven't figured out when I'm allowed to do that yet. Okay, so if auth check. So now we can pull in link. So doing link equals, and you know what? I bet I don't need to do like a link equals thing. I bet I can just do this entire command right here. Is there an increment in the database? I'm really curious if they have like an increment method. If I search for increment, aha, increment and decrement. DB table users increment votes. Oh, well, that's literally what I need. Oh, and this one will do it by 1. So that's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna say link increment votes, and that's it. And then we're going to return redirect. You know what? I have this return redirect no matter what. Let's just say if this happens, otherwise, no matter what, we are returning. Save. All right, let's try it. So refresh this. Hey, and there we went to 101. Oh, you know what? Here's the problem. because I was in the comment and I hit up, it returns me to slash because that's what I told it to do. I need to know if I need to go to slash or like where I was previously. But the increment part is working. I guess like I could do an entire state thing, or I can just cheat. And I can say, we go to the index controller, and I bet for each of these, we can have a redirect to. Now the redirect to we can have be, I wonder if we can do it like a default would be slash, and then links with comments. Okay, so it wouldn't be here. Let's go into the votes. So in the votes.blade, I bet we could have something like a question mark. So hand this in as part of the action here. So question mark redirect to. I want to do like a default, so like an if. So redirect to equals, and then I'm going to do an inline horrible if statement here. So if we have a redirect to, then we want to just put in a redirect to. You know, I wonder if I can use, does Blade have a better sort of if? like a ternary. No. That's too bad. Okay, so if redirect to this is absolutely horrible code. I already hate it. I haven't even written it yet. I haven't finished writing it. Because what I would be doing is like, okay, if redirect to, then use that. Else use I guess it would be just slash end if, like that. Then in the one link blade, we have the link ID that we're going to be at. So for this votes, we would then say redirect to slash link ID. I think that's what I would want. Okay, so if I save this, we come back to here. Uh-oh. What did I break here? It really doesn't like that. Undefined variable redirect to. Inside of the votes. Oh, I have if. Okay, whatever. This is not what we want here. I don't know if I can find out where I came from. That would be really nice. I don't think I can send that along with it. I can in Laravel. SciStream, also welcome to the stream, and Truckless, welcome. Why not do the condition outside the form and store the result in a variable, then just echo it on the HTML? I don't know if I have. Well, so I don't think I can echo it into the HTML because in Laravel, I don't really have access to the HTML directly. It's just the templates with the blade templates, and I sort of manipulate them through its own language. But what you're saying, SciStream, is that I can access the information in Laravel. I can call PHP logic. Am I fully calling PHP logic, or is it similar to like other templating languages like handlebars, that it's kind of just looks like PHP logic but not really fully? I don't actually know. That's a good question. But SciStream, I'm really curious about what you're saying, is that I can get where I came from in Laravel. Is it on the request object? Where I need the request basics requests. Also, if it looks like I'm shaking and there's an earthquake here, it's because the entire room started shaking because of the dryer right next door. That's kind of shaking the room. So sorry about that. Let's see, accessing the request, retrieving old input. Will it tell me where I came from? The path method returns the request path information. So if the incoming request is targeted at foobar, the request URL, well, that will give me the request that has come through at that time. That won't really tell me like the previous page that it was on. But I wonder if I can throw that into, okay. You can use the object request. Do I have access to that in the Blade template? Because then I could just tell it, I could just send it in, here's where I came from. That might work. So if I say, then I can do that like entire redirect to thing again. You have access to everything in Blade? Really? That seems crazy. Laravel docs 5.8 URLs. Okay, so 5.8 URLs. Okay, I don't want to generate a URL. Accessing the current URL. Echo URL current. Get the current URL without the query string. Get the URL, to get the full URL for the previous request. Okay, so that's what I want then. So I bring in this. Okay, so let's see what I get here. This is going to be exciting. I think it's going to be the index controller. Is it the index controller that I care about here? I think, no, it's going to be the votes. The votes. Here. The votes controller. Where did that? Oh, links controller. That's what I call it. Link controller. I want to pull in you. And then if we're logged in, actually, regardless of whether or not we're logged in, I need to now, let's just do this. We care about the previous, right? So previous URL equals URL previous, like that. And then we're gonna dd previous URL, and we'll see what happens. Hey, that's exactly right. Okay, perfect. So thank you both Truckless and Sai. That actually, this makes it really easy. So now I can just redirect to here. Previous URL. So hit refresh, upvote. I need to remove the DD, of course. Save, refresh, upvote, going there. Let's go back here, upvote. All right, that was perfect. So now, as we go to the README, not that README, this one. I want to upvote or downvote links. So now we just need to add in the downvoting side because that doesn't do anything right now, but that should be pretty simple. Let's go to the votes.blade. Downvote is going to just, we're going to go to the downvote method here. So web PHP, going to copy you. You're going to become downvote in the link controller. We're going to have the pretty much the exact same thing, but it's now going to be downvote. Okay, so we have our user, we have our previous URL. We're going to do our auth check, and this is going to be a decrement, and then we vote there. Okay, do that, save, do that. Let's come back here, and we downvote. Okay, so we have votes set up, and I'm going to head to the README, and now we have we can upvote or downvote links as a logged in visitor. Perfect. All right, so save that. And then we'll push all this up to, so logged in users can upvote and downvote links. Are you going to use the user variable? It's not really there for anything. You know what? That's a really good question. So for the link controller, yeah, I don't need this, do I? I was using it in the other one and I sort of copied it in without really thinking about it. So you're exactly right. I don't need it there. Index controller, I'm passing in and using, well, am I? Right here, username. Yeah, okay, so I need, that and username. Okay, so I'm using it here. Let's close all these windows. I wasn't using that user object anyways. All right, so let's open up the README again. What is next? As a logged in visitor, I want to leave a comment on a link. So now we want a form inside of the comments here that allows me to leave a comment on a link. All right, so leave a comment on a link. Where do I want to? Probably something like just add comment right above. I could do it right below this. So let's create the form first. So on the one link, here's all these, and then we're going to have our comment form. If I'm going to add a comment for the other one, I'm not really sure how I'm going to put that in there. I may drop the comments of the comments because it's not really the join that I was thinking of. Clear to explain. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of like talking to myself more than like commentating. All right. So initially when I started this exercise, I was thinking, okay, I want like comments on comments. And that will get me like, I'll have to have like an entire join table, but that's not, this project isn't going to have that, I don't think. So I don't think it really helps to have comments on comments because all it's really going to do is just have another just another join, like a self join. I don't really care about that because it's the same complexity. Everything that I'm trying to do for this project is mostly just, hey, here's like learning PHP and Laravel by doing these things, and each of them is going to be slightly different and slightly more complex as I do it. I don't know if that made a proper explanation. So I don't need the comments and comments. I'm going to leave that out for right now. Instead, I'm just going to have add a comment, so a post. So let's go into the one link, and down here we're going to have, let's do a like an h3 tag, and we're going to say add a comment. And we're going to have a form here. So a form. In this form, we're going to need what do we need for the comment? Okay, so we're going to need the link ID. We can grab that from the URL maybe. So from the action. We're going to need the text. That's pretty much it. The text, and then maybe the user ID. These might be better as like hidden form fields to sort of like send that data in. No? I don't actually know which one you're referring to as the no. Oh, right, because you get that from the logged in user object. You're exactly right. Overthinking it. I have that one. The only thing that I need then is the link ID, like this link that I'm adding the comment on, and I can grab that from the URL. Yeah, so that's perfect. So all I really need to add in here is the text. So we'll come back into here. We'll do a label. You go there. Okay, so label 4 equals comment text. I don't really need anything like this. So I'm going to do the style where I wrap it around. And then in here, we're going to have an input type equals text. We don't need a value, it's empty. We need a name equals text. We need an ID equals comment text. That's to match up with this 4. Do I need anything else? I can't think of anything else right now. And then we need, I could have this just be inline or just put this into a div. And then we'll put a button that will be add comment button. So save that. Here's our add comment form. We can now fill this out. Do I need to finish that with a slash? So in proper latest HTML5, you don't need to add those in. I know that some frameworks like it. Oh, you're just being picky? Yeah. So for example, React needs to have those, just because of like the flavor of JSX requires them to have that. But in latest HTML5, you do not need them. They will actually pass the validation. So I will not add them into everything that I've been doing. And now we have this. Okay, so action equals. All right, so for adding a post, we're going to go slash comments. So we're going to add a comment, and we need to add it for what? We need to send what's the link. Do I want to use a query string for this? So I can do like a comments for, and then like a link ID of something like link ID. The problem is that looks like I'm adding to like a comment, like which specific comment. I could also go to slash links comments, like adding a comment for a link. I'm not like, or I could just do slash comments and then use a query parameter and just say link ID equals link ID. That might be a better one. And then I would do method equals post and add the CSRF like that. Okay, so if I do this, I kind of like this more because this is more RESTful. So it's sending a post to comments and then giving a little bit of the data of what the link ID that I want to add in. Also, it forces me to learn how to grab the link ID out of the query parameters. So that's the next bit of learning that I need to do for this. Okay, so for add a comment, we're going to now post to here. So let's go to web. I can put this right here. Route post slash comments. Haven't you already done that? I mean, you got comments 1 working right now. Well, that's a GET request to it, but it's passing in the what is that getting? That's the link with comments. That's actually going to the index. So it's not proper. It's not following like the PHP Laravel way of doing things, which would be like the index of comments. Posts are the same. Well, a post usually doesn't go to like an ID number. A post would usually just go to comments, but I also need to know what the link ID is. So if I do, actually this will be a comments controller, won't it? This will be just store. And then I'm gonna have to get the request to grab that ID off of it. Okay. So let's create a comments controller. PHP artisan make controller comments controller. And comments controller, here you are. We need a function store. I believe, so it's not going to be ID, it's not going to be passed in. I think I can get just request put in here. And just because I'm curious, it's not URL, requests, route parameters, not that. Oh, it's just get. Okay, I'll try that. Okay, so request. So let's try this. Return request get. What did I call this? Link ID. I guess I could also DD this, but let's do it this way. Okay, so this is going to go to store. So if I just hit that, I didn't refresh. Okay, 404 not found. Comments link. Comments. Misspelled comments. Too few arguments. Zero passed and one expected. Okay, so it's not, the request wasn't what I wanted. Oh, it's query string, use query. Zero passed. But I think the problem is that I'm not, this isn't what I wanted. The request, this request is, do I have to do like the weird request thing where I do like request space request? Yeah, okay, I need this. Request like that. Then that works, I bet. Let's try this again. There it is, link ID 1. And if I change this to like link ID 2, oh, of course, it turned into a get request, so that didn't help. All right, perfect. So I have the, I can now do this as link ID equals request get link ID. Okay, so perfect. I have the link ID. I need to now store in the interesting. I thought I needed the query, but the get worked. I guess it figured it out what I wanted. Okay. Let's now get the text for that. I need the model. So use /app/ is a comment. The request first word is the reference to that object, meaning that any parameter passed to that function either extends that object or implements its interface. Okay, so that's what's going on. So this is one entire parameter being processed in. So it's a reference to it and then store it in request. Store a reference to this object in request. Okay, perfect. So now I have a comment. I want to create a new comment. I do need that user object now. So user equals auth user. Okay, so it's a simple. Was it capital user or just user? You know, I also don't need to do this unless I'm authenticated. So I should check that first. So if auth, is it check think it's check. Okay, so if we're authenticated, and I can actually check this and the other. Oh, not those. It's the other controller. Let's see, link controller, maybe that one. Yeah, if auth check, so perfect. You can also use ID to just get the ID. Off of user, like just auth. Oh, auth ID, you're right. So instead of doing this, so I auth check, get the link ID. The only reason I'm doing that right here is because this is complex and it'll remind me when I can come back to this to sort of see what's going on. I now need to create a new comment. Let's create comments. I'm going to put this down here. So I need the link ID. So I think what I can do is say comment create, and we need the link ID. The link ID is now going to be this link ID. I need the text, and that's going to be the request text. And then I need the user ID is going to be auth ID, like that. And that's it. And I think that will just save it automatically as part of like this create. And then if regardless, when I end this, I want to return redirect to probably where I came from, right? So that's the same URL. So that's request, I think URL. I think I saw that in the documentation. Leave the check, but only if you need the ID and not the full object. Use ID. So far I don't need, okay, I'm going to leave the check here. But I also need, yeah, I do just need the ID. That's all I really need. So that should create this. Then I do the redirect to, I think this is where I want to go. Let's find out if it works. So add a comment, another comment, hit this. Right, I forgot to bring in this. Oh, the link ID. Okay, so fillable property to allow mass assignment. The problem, do I want to do that here? The user ID I'm getting from the auth, that's fine. The link ID, okay, so I think this should be fine because I'm just grabbing it from the auth and something else. Right, yeah, I missed the import. Okay, so now I need that import and I need it on the controller. So controller, no, comment.php. So I'm not really sure the security implications of doing this. So I can do protected fillable equals, and then I can say, okay, I want link ID to be allowed in. And I think I need to do this for everything in there. So that would be the text and also the user ID. And I'm not completely sure if this is like a really bad idea. Because in the back end, I'm grabbing the user ID from like the authentication modules. There's no way for somebody to like change anything on the front end and send like another user ID because I'm not paying attention to that. They could change the link ID and make it so that my comment goes to a completely different link ID. But if they do that, regardless if it's fillable or not, it's going to go in there. So I think this should be fine. So that's saved. Let's now add another comment. The get method is not supported for this route. Supported method. Oh, I sent it to the wrong URL. Where did I go? Does it tell me where I try to send it? I think I just want the previous URL again, don't I? If it's not fillable, it can't create an emulator, so no choice. Okay, yeah, so just have to do it. Okay, so this request, I was like trying to get it. It's not the current URL. I want the previous URL. Do I have that access on here? No. Okay, so if I go back to URL, the URL, okay, where was it? Digging deeper, basics, URL generation. Accessing the previous. So I wonder, do I have access to that? Echo URL full previous, like that. Call to a member function previous on string. Okay, so no. But do you exist? Oh, you were suggesting I do the exact same thing. But yeah, it returns the string. So I can't do that. But I wonder if this works. Or if it's going to be something like previous URL. Method previous does not exist. Okay, so that's too bad. I wonder, okay, is there DD request? I wonder if I can see. So there's like request URI. So you need like comments 1, but I don't have. Oh, wait a second. I could just go, I have the link ID. I'll just recreate it because the previous URL is not in here. So I'll just stop being clever and I'll just, redirect to /comments/ oh, I need to make this double quotes. comments slash link ID, the link ID. Save. And remove that DD before I forget. Save that. Add another comment. Hey, look how many comments I added. Okay, let's add a unique comment. So unique comment, add it. There it goes in. So perfect. What version of Laravel? The latest version, I believe, 5.8. I installed it last week. Okay, so do back. Interesting. So back would allow me to just, it probably tells it to just do back like this, right? Let's try it. If I comment you out and I say return, now you're doing colon back. What is that? Just the request back? Redirect to the object. I don't have redirect. Oh, okay, request redirect back like that. So refresh this. Super unique comment. Controller redirect not found. Return redirect. What did I do wrong? Oh, it's on the full. Okay. You're right. So I need the static method off of it. So I would need to get that. Now this works though. I kind of like just doing this instead and just like rebuilding it based upon this. So I'm going to keep this because this makes more sense and I believe is a little bit readable, a little bit more readable. And then that adds our super unique comment here, which there's 2 of them. So I think the irony of that is not lost on me. All right, so I can add a comment. Let's go back to the README here. I want to leave a comment on a link. All right, save that. As a logged in visitor, I want to log out. That's what's, oh, I think that was under security. Well, and actually it's 5:28. I am running out of time. It is time for me to go get dinner ready. So I'm gonna have to end this a little bit early. I want to, today is Thursday, right? What is my schedule for tomorrow? Looking at my schedule for tomorrow, I don't have anything planned for the day. So I'm not going to promise when I'm going to stream because I don't know off the top of my head. But here's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to tweet out an hour or so ahead before I stream. And then I'll continue on from there. I'm going to archive this video and that video tomorrow up to YouTube regardless. So how long have I been studying PHP? About a week. You would go with the URL facade yourself. Interesting. So yeah, that's gonna be my plan. I'm gonna stream tomorrow and continue this project. And then once I finish this one, I will then move on to the next one. So with that being done, we just finished adding comments to a link. So logged in users can add comments to links. Okay, I'm going to push this all up to GitHub. So to begin with, let me share the Git URL of where this all is. That is all right here. Okay, so I created a full organization for the stream. So this is actually the first project on there. All the other ones that I've done have just been on my personal account. So that's where you can find the current code. And I'm also going to upload this to YouTube. I'm not a partner with YouTube, and I don't think they give me the ability to, to actually like upload to like get a custom name unless I'm a partner. I don't really have plans to turn on monetization either, but this is the channel that my YouTube is at. I will push that in there. I think I have those listed down like as links down in the description below too. And I have a link to my my Twitter. So across those three, you can find the code, and you can find out when I'm going to be going live, and also when these archives go up onto YouTube and into their playlists. So I think that's everything I need right now. And also, Sai, thank you very much for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's see. I can't think of anything else I want to add. So if you like this and you want to get notifications, go ahead and please follow me here. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter, which I believe I have the link down below. And I guess you could also subscribe to me on YouTube to get, I don't know if they get notifications when videos go live there, but Twitter is probably the easiest place to get across everything. So with that, I am going to switch over to my ending screen, and I'll see you next time, which I believe will be tomorrow sometime. So all of you, thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time, whenever that is.